Watch who?
Hello, and welcome to Watch Who, a Doctor Who podcast. I'm Mark.
And I'm Sarah.
And I'm a Doctor Who fan.
And I'm new to watching Who.
Yep, watching for the very first time.
Very first time.
Yes, and listener, you join us today. We are on the Himalayas, actually, at the moment. We've just set up camp here. So we've got the campfire going. We're just sitting round. Got some marshmallows. We're actually looking for the Yeti right now. We decided to camp here.
We should put up that picture of us with our toasted marshmallows.
Yes, that's us, yeah. So we got that. So sit down with us, listener, round the campfire. We are safe from Yetis, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. We've got they're scared of the fire. So it's a bit chilly, though, up here. It's a bit cold.
Yeah, it is.
I've got my anorak on.
Of course.
And you've got your Victorian shorts.
My Victorian shorts?
Well, she's got, like, I don't know what you call them, what she wears.
Trousers?
Trousers, yeah, right. Anyway, so that's where we are today, everybody. For the Abominable Snowmen. Do you know what we're doing on the campfire? Deep fried milk. So we had a takeaway. Actually, we've had 2 takeaways during this story.
Yeah.
On separate occasions.
Yeah, we did this in 2 parts.
And so the first time we had Chinese.
Which we rarely do.
No, yeah, it was a bit of a change for us, actually.
Oh, but I just really fancied it.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a craving.
And you know when you always get, like, extra sort of freebie things with your takeaway? We had a free dessert, and it was deep fried milk.
Yeah.
Which is like... Actually, I didn't have any in the end.
I didn't either.
It was like a sort of lump of frozen milk that was fried. Yeah. I've never seen it before.
I was too intimidated by it, and I was worried. I had no reason to be, because actually the Chinese was really good.
Yeah.
But I was concerned that, like, the milk might have gone off or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It just didn't seem like... I don't know what it was.
It was a nice surprise.
It was a surprise, yeah. And then we just had pizza for the last 2 episodes, so back to the standard. But we've just got our marshmallows here on the fire today. No takeaway in 1935, I'm afraid. No Chinese deliveries up here on the Himalayas.
No.
It's
Tibet.
No, it's Tibet.
Which is a part of China.
Yeah, which is a part of China, so there might be. That was my thinking, but not in 1935.
No.
Oh, right.
And not
okay.
these monks.
And update-wise, just while we're up here.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Something to pad this episode out. It could be a short one.
I'm warning everyone, this was a tough one. Do you know what? I'm going to say hello to listener Mike, who got in touch recently.
Okay.
Right. Get this. So he's been listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
Right from the beginning, right through.
Hi, Mike.
He's never seen like any William Hartnell, or he hasn't been watching. He's just been listening to us.
We're the verdict on what these episodes
He's like a big
are.
new series fan.
Yeah.
And he's seen some. He said he saw some Tom Baker, but he's not seen any. I think he saw like Unearthly Child, but he's been going through, and he was up to the season 2 Doskers.
Hi, Mike.
So I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but yeah, I was like, I don't know of anyone that's been listening that hasn't seen what we're talking about. So I don't know, like, imagine.
Because actually, to begin with, I was listening back to, like, one of the first ones, not first ones, but an early one that we did. And we go for a lot more of the story, whereas by now,
well, it depends on the story, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because we try and go through in order, don't we? But then it depends on what we've got to talk about. But we did start off going through a lot more of the story. So I hope we haven't given too much away. But
or maybe we gave enough away that you know to avoid it.
Yeah, so I'll have to get him. I'm sending him the War Machines DVD to watch. So anyway, so that was the only update I had. I just want to say hello. But it was a tough one this time round.
Yeah.
Which we haven't had a really difficult one. We were talking about.
Well, speak for yourself. I put it on the same place as Smugglers, and I detested the Smugglers.
So I think this is our first tough Second Doctor story.
No. That was Second Doctor, wasn't it?
That was First Doctor.
But Smugglers, was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, this is our first Second Doctor. So, I was saying we're due a tough one soon, because it's been quite easy recently.
No, I think I also struggled with the Scottish one.
Oh, Highlanders, of course. I forgot about the Highlanders. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. That was tough.
That was tough. So it's not the first one, but this was worse than Highlanders.
Oh, yes.
At least,
yeah.
The thing is, with the Highlanders, you're Kirsty, who was a great.
Yeah. Whether you liked her or not, she was great.
She was great. Yeah, and she like brought something to it. This, other than who was it? I said.
Oh, Tomney,
and actually doesn't really do a lot. Like, he's the only person in this that I was like, okay.
Well, I say, so it's 6 episodes, only one exists. And it's not animated yet. Apparently it's going to be one of the next ones to be animated.
Yeah.
So it was tough, telesnaps again.
It's amazing how much music impacts the story and how much as a listener, I'm going to put here, rather than a viewer, because with the telesnaps, you have to become more of a listener to it than a viewer, I find anyway. And there were points in this, I said to you, I was like, I don't even need to be looking at the screen. Nothing is happening. There is nothing. Like, it's almost easier not to look at the screen. So, yeah, I just feel a little bit like... I'm just swivering on now, sorry.
Sorry, I was adjusting your levels. Sorry. No, I was just looking at my computer.
I've nothing else more to add about it.
There was no music, but the smugglers didn't have music.
No, it's the same problem.
Yeah. So I know this one.
Oh, yes.
Okay. I read the book in primary school.
Oh. As in the script?
The Target book. So they've all been they were sort of I suppose they were aimed at kids in the 70s and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's basically, a novel of it.
Yeah.
Quite short.
Because not a lot happens.
Well, yeah, for 6 episodes. And I just remember all the names like Tomney and Padma Bhavsava. I've got it written down, but not right in front of me. I was just thinking as a child, in school, when you had to go off and read to somebody out loud in the thing, I took this to read to. There was a lady called Rose. And we used to go and read to her, and I read this to her.
Yeah.
And I vividly remember reading the Target book to her. And I don't know what she thought about this story. I wish I'd asked her.
Get her on.
I read this and the Sea Devils and then a Star Wars novel to her. So she had great afternoons with me. So I do remember, and obviously I didn't know it then. I hadn't listened to the soundtrack or knew anything about telesnaps or anything then. So... I remember the beginning of it with the Doctor in the TARDIS. Well, let's just start in the story. So we have Dr. Jamie and Victoria in the TARDIS, and he's looking for this bell.
I think I'll go and have a scout around. Now, you two find the bell. It's very important.
Oh, but why do you want it?
Because down there, it's going to guarantee us the welcome of a lifetime.
Down there?
Oh, don't ask me. When you've been with a doctor as long as I have, you begin to realise you don't know what he's talking about.
So previously, they've all gone out together. It's all been like, okay, we're here, let's go and explore. And this one, he's like, no, you stay here. And we've had nothing like that. This was the first one where it started with a pretense of danger.
Well, it's because the Doctor had been there before, so he knows where they've landed.
Yeah.
He knows the monastery is just down the hill. And obviously he's taken the bell before, so he wants to just go and check. And he says, yeah, you two stay here.
Yeah.
Which is something the first Doctor would do.
Yeah, exactly. It was the first time that's happened with this one. But also the first time for a while. Even the first Doctor didn't do that after a while.
No. And Victoria knows how to use the scanner in her, second proper story. Well done, Victoria. She's all over those buttons at the beginning.
She's all over it.
And Jamie is like, oh yeah, move it. He's...
Not to mention what's her name, but he does teach them.
Yeah, Victoria has had the button test and she's passed.
And can move on to more than one.
Yeah. Actually, just talking about the Himalayas as well, I don't know why this came into my head. So I looked up, I was like, Himalayas, what do I know about the Himalayas? Not a lot. It's in the... So I was looking up the other day about the... So Mount Everest is not too far away.
No.
Because I was trying to work that out.
It's all within the same region, isn't it?
I was looking up. I don't know. It's a really weird thing that I like to look up. I sometimes like these weird subjects. So I looked up, if anyone was interested, all the dead bodies that are on Mount Everest.
Right, okay.
There must
be a lot.
I've got this thing. You go online. I just like looking at all the pictures.
Oh, Mark.
I know, it's
You
really
make a
weird,
great
isn't
film
it?
director.
It's just really weird. And there's like all the stories about which one and who, and it's so... I only found that out recently where like people are just like literally there frozen.
Yeah.
Exactly. And nobody can go and get them because it's too dangerous. But when you hike up Mount Everest, you've got to go past all these
Bodies.
people that are still there.
Yeah.
So if anyone's got any spare time, Google dead bodies on Mount Everest. It's quite fascinating. I spend a lot. I did it at work the other day, and then
Of course.
someone came up behind me, and I was like, "Quickly get a Google off." I mean, I suppose it could have been worse, but
It could have been, you've probably made it seem
Yeah.
worse, actually.
Yeah. It just looked a bit weird. But that's what reminded me. Where are we? 1935. What happens? So we see Travers, don't we? That's how the story starts.
So
someone's attacked.
Sorry, just going back. So you showed me, because we did 4 and then 2.
Yeah.
So you showed me after 4, like a little snippet of like
Oh, we're going
behind
there
the
already.
scenes. Yeah.
Oh no, sorry. Which thing? Oh, the making of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's like this colour footage of them filming at the time.
Yeah, which was on Snowdonia.
On Snowdonia.
Yeah.
In Wales.
I know.
Oh, I should have started off. Hello, we're from Wales. That's what I was going to do. I knew I had an opening. That's my Wales.
Okay. Well, go on, one more time.
I don't know. Hello.
Hello.
This is Wales.
Do you know what,
speaking.
Mark? I always think that I'm all right with accents until I hear you, and then
I
it
thought that's
throws me
really
off.
good.
No, but it throws me completely, and I can't think.
And I can do Gwen from Torchwood. Have I got something on my face?
It's the A. It's those sorts of. Oh gosh, I can't.
Jack. What's going on, Jack? That's Torchwood.
Okay.
I know this is really bad. This is offensive to all Welsh people.
The-
Oh my gosh.
I
We
can't
shouldn't do
think.
this. We shouldn't do accents.
No, I can't even get it in my head.
Well, I can't even speak any kind of Welsh, and you need that. And I just can't do that whenever I say a Welsh
Yeah.
name or something. So I'm glad Snowdonia is not Welsh named.
Actually, yeah, because so there's a lot of places in Wales. So Cardiff is also Cardiff.
Cardiff.
CAER. Cardiff.
Cardiff.
With the double D is like a
Cardiff.
Cardiff.
Cardiff, yeah.
So it's sort of Cardiff. Because, yeah, Cardiff. Because it's double D on the end, and double D is TH in Welsh. So we have Cardiff, and
Right.
in Welsh, the way that they make that noise is with the double D.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's a letter in the
Yeah.
Welsh alphabet is
Okay.
2 Ds.
See, I
So-
don't know any of this. I
Yeah.
haven't learned any of this. But yeah,
We've had this conversation. We live in Wales.
Yeah, I know.
Mark just won't learn Welsh.
I know.
I
So
need to do more.
Snowdonia.
But no, that's my point. Sorry. So different places have different Welsh names. So I'm not sure. Actually, Snowdonia might have a Welsh name.
Well, it looks great, and it fills
gonna
in
look
for
that up.
it fills in for the Himalayas really well.
I'm going to look that up.
I'll come back to my Snowdonia story. We'll get into the actual Doctor Who story before we get any further. So they meet Travers, and he's attacked at the beginning. So he's an explorer that is looking for the Yeti. So when we're going through episode 1, now I did say this was a struggle.
Sorry, there is a Welsh name for Snowdon.
Okay.
I'm not sure how to say it. Weitha, YR is ear, and then it's WYDDFA.
No, I can't say that.
Weitha. Earweitha, I think. Don't quote me. I get really bad with the Welsh alphabet. So once you know everything, like the letters basically form the words. It's not like in English where like an E could also be like sound like an A, or so. Like the rules make it in like Italian. The rules make it really clear. And I can't remember what certain things are. It's a oitha, I think. Yeah, look.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I can't say that. I
So
can't even
just to
pronounce that.
say
Yeah.
you're wrong, Mark.
Okay. Well, Travers is up there, Snowdonia/Himalayas. Now, it was quite difficult, even in episode 1, and I have to say I struggled as well because I've tried the CD. I think I prefer the book for the first time ever. We did follow episode 1 though.
Yeah.
My notes suddenly run out now, even at the beginning of this. You have the Doctor going down into the monastery. obviously meeting Travers. Victoria and Jamie go off on their own. They follow these footprints and end up in this cave, and that's where the Yeti attacks them. That's sort of end of part 1.
Yep.
What are you thinking when we're watching this at the beginning? Like, because you're excited for the story, the Abominable Snowmen.
Yeah.
And then, as we're getting into it, what are you thinking?
Look, it's a broad overstatement of the whole episode, of the whole story. But, you know, I think it's nothing really happens in this. It's not until literally episode end of 5, 6 that you actually learn what's going on. And there's nothing as an audience, I found, to make you want to see it develop. So the first one, okay, fine, we meet the monks and they're a little bit suspicious of the doctor. Classic, you know. Like...
Well, you see, they're suspicious because the doctor at Clothes Watch has his fur coat on.
Yes.
That suspiciously looks like a Yeti. Of course.
Yeah.
So when Travers is already down... Because it just... Yeah, there's bits that just doesn't make sense because Travers
now
is
you've
suddenly,
said that though.
Travers is suddenly with the monks there.
Yeah.
They've accepted him. It's like he's been living there for a long time.
But you say that. I didn't think it was because he looked like a Yeti that was the issue. I thought that they thought the doctor had killed Travis's partner.
Yes, yeah.
And stolen his coat.
Oh. No.
And that's why they were like,
No.
you killed him and took his coat.
Oh, no, I thought it was you killed him. Travis glimpsed... Well, Travis is out there looking for Yeti.
Yeah.
And obviously the monks know the Yetis as like a peaceful creature that's around them. And they're like, oh, this guy's being killed. So Travers... We don't see Travers meeting the monks going there. He's already established there. That's what threw me, I think. It's already... A lot has been established already with him. Because Travers, throughout this whole thing, he's in and out that monastery. I don't know, as if he's part... Like, I don't know, he's not...
His relationship's not very clear.
And it's all weird that they're in and out of the monastery a lot. And they're sort of welcoming. I suppose they have to be. But it's just...
Well, they're not. The first thing they do is stick the doctor outside and they're happy for him to be killed.
But then obviously the doctor
Even
can
Travers
prove,
makes a joke about
and
that.
you've got Tomney, who's like the sympathetic character that the doctor gives the bell to prove that he's... It sets up fine, great. And Jamie and Victoria going off is a classic Doctor Who. Great stuff, great filming on the location. Looks great. Jamie's in his anorak. He looks quite modern.
Yeah.
Victoria's clothes are quite nice.
Yeah.
She's got good boots on for hiking. But yeah, I just didn't really like any of the monk stuff and the characters of the monk. You've got the sort of the suspicious one, and then you've got the good one, and it's just a bit bland.
It's so bland. And actually, for ages, it's so unclear, I find, what is actually going on.
Yes.
So it turns out people are in trances, right? But
people are in trances. That just sums it up.
It is. But from who and for what? Like, I do not...
Yeah.
To right now, I do not understand what was trying to be achieved. At least whenever we have the Daleks doing shit, we know it's because they're like, they want to take over the world. Or the Cybermen, they're like, we're the pure kind. I have no idea what these guys were actually aiming to do here.
Right.
For
well,
300 years.
I will try, because I struggled with this as well.
Yeah.
I probably struggled the most so far in this whole thing, actually, for some reason.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I quite enjoyed the Smugglers.
Worse than Web Planet?
Well, I could sort of follow the story. I just didn't follow the story very well in this. Well, I'm just going on my notes. So actually, the Yeti then.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about the Yeti, because as we go into episode 2... We're on film. We actually see the Yeti. Mm-hmm. How effective do you think they are? I've written what we were talking about, Furby on legs. I've written Sesame Street.
They're odd.
You didn't like them, did you?
They just... what? So, just skipping ahead a little, but it is related. We watched the telesnaps.
So, we did the loose cannon reconstruction.
Yeah.
So, in great loose cannon style, they've animated a few of the Yeti CGI style.
And I said to you, like, there was one scene where they ran through and I was like, they look like giant furry scrotum, like, with legs on. It looks awful. Like, just saying.
Well, it's difficult to animate fur.
That's why they shouldn't have done it. But, you know...
I'm surprised, actually, they didn't make any noise.
They didn't make... There
noise.
is so little noise in this. Like...
But it's very difficult when you do have the telesnaps of them, because you don't really see...
There's no music.
I think if we saw more location stuff of them, I think they'd be more effective.
So, but we have the footage.
Yeah.
And we see them there.
And when he's in the cave, that's quite a good bit.
They don't create any suspense. Actually, no, I tell a lie. When you first meet them in the cave, then the first time you meet them, they seem quite an intimidating force. And then after that, they just seem quite cuddly and odd. And this is before you even find out that they're robots. I
thought that was interesting, though. They could have done, these are the creatures on the mountain. There's a sort of scientific explanation behind them where you've got these silver balls that go around like radio control balls, which whenever you go to a garden centre and you see those things that go on the pond to stop the ice going over, that's what they are. I always see them. I'm always like, I need to buy a pyramid of them. I need to order a pyramid of silver balls, please, and just have my own little spheres going on. I thought that was a good twist, and it takes a couple of episodes for that to be worked out.
But that's
you have the
the
suspense
point.
of it.
When things happen, I want to know why, and I don't want to have to wait another 3 episodes to find out why. Or I want that idea to move, and you find out they're robots, and nothing happens from that.
Where are you going?
To have a look outside the gates. I want that unit. Come on, James.
No, I will not allow it.
But why not?
I trust no one to leave the monastery. You say this creature is not a real Yeti.
It's metal. It's been made.
And sent against us. Why? Why does someone wish harm to the monks of Death's End? I will trust no stranger until these questions are answered.
Well, they're guarding the sort of great intelligence, and Padma... I'm going to have to say Pad. They're guarding Padma Sandfazar. I hope I've said that right.
Pad.
Because he's been possessed. But throughout those first few episodes, because we don't see Pad, I'm just going to call him Pad. We don't see Pad till towards the end of the story.
No.
But you've got that really good, effective, creepy voice for the first few, because Songston, I call him Toucan guy with the thing. There's so many sort of levels to this. You've got sort of the monk who's Kurt. Oh gosh, Kristang, Kirk's. I can't read my own writing.
Read your book.
Oh, I'm just looking this up in the Television Companion.
But
my Bible.
But just to go on that a sec. So I really found it interesting for the first time.
Croissant.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really found it interesting when
Pad. Tomney
gets asked to go in, and it's this voice, and we don't hear it. We don't know who the voice connects
that's what I like. Yeah.
But then I want to know, but who is this voice? Or look, my basic thing here was I could not understand what the whole purpose of this entire thing was.
But you've got a mysterious voice. It's supposed to be mysterious until later on, until the big reveal later on. Because you've got Tomney going in. He's sort of the lowest one. You've got Krissong, who's the sort of annoying, suspicious one.
Yeah.
And then you've got Toucan Songston, who is, you think is in charge, but he's actually getting his instructions from Pad. So there's all these layers, and so for a long time I thought it was Toucan Songston who was the evil one, who he sort of is, and he's manipulating the ones below.
I didn't.
And then above that you've got Pad, who is actually behind everything. But then even before then, it's not Pad, it's Pad who's possessed, who is actually the great intelligence. So it's layer after layer after layer.
But it's layer after layer, but for what? What do the great intelligence actually want to do here?
I think, just going from this story, so Pad, who was there 300 years ago, who knew the Doctor when the Doctor was there 300 years ago and stole that bell, right?
Yeah. Was given the bell.
No, he stole it, didn't he?
No, he was given it.
Okay.
They gave it him, and it was said that he would return with it.
Oh, okay. I missed that bit. So Pad was doing his astral planing stuff, meditating and stuff, right? And then the great intelligence is this sort of gaseous entity,
Yeah.
sort of hasn't got its own body type thing, possessed Pad,
Yeah.
and then sort of, I don't know where the robot Yeti actually come in, and then Pad has been sort of guarding, and there's these glowing balls, and that's where the intelligence's energy comes from, and he wants all the monks to sort of be scared and go away so he can sort of take over and have his own form, I think.
But he already has his
Oh my
own
gosh,
form.
But
he already has his own.
It's
But
really annoying me that I can't explain this.
But that's my point. Like, I've come to the end of this, and I'm like, I could not work out. The balls I understood were like some sort of a transmitter thing. Got that. Toucan guy, I didn't think was bad because he was receiving orders. And I was like, the thing that's giving him the orders is the bad thing.
He was off with the Yeti for a lot.
Yeah, but...
I mean, he was possessed, so I don't think he was bad. Like, nobody was actually... It was the intelligence that was the bad thing.
But
none of the actual monks
even
were
when we
bad.
saw him with... Then I was like, there's something not right. Because the scene before, it makes him sound like he's sort of like in this trance bit. So I just... Why?
Okay.
Look, okay. So going back to like a previous baddie that like we don't find out about until right at the end, the crabs. Actually, no, take that. We see the crabs, but I said to you a lot of times, like I just wanted to know why they were doing it.
The macra, yeah.
Yeah, the macra. So the macra, though, to some extent, I get it because they needed the humans to do things so they could live.
Yeah, like mine the gas.
Yeah, and they were like, so that, even though very vague, I have no idea what, by clearing everyone away, he was hoping to do with this 300-odd-year-old body.
Should I just see what it says in the television companion? Just a second.
Yeah, as long as like it doesn't because to be a good story, it has to be able to come from this story.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, go on.
The intelligence's aim is to create a material form for itself and take over the Earth.
Right, I did not get that. I honestly did not get it. To be fair, they might have said it, but the talking was so slow. Okay. I almost forgot what they'd said before by the time they said a new word.
Fair, like the Pad's voice, creepy voice at the beginning, is very effective. And it's out of the creepiest... Like, if you're going to do a top 10 creepy voices in Doctor Who, we've had some terrible voices.
Oh, no, but
it's very... I know the pace, but it's very...
No, but it's good pace to begin with.
Yes,
because
it's like, oh, like...
you understand what it's... But you understand what he's saying.
It would seem that the Yeti have caused some little upset at the gates. However, their work is accomplished. Now, Song Sen, observe.
By the fifth one, literally, I forgot what word he'd said previously. By the time he said the next word, I couldn't string a sentence together from him. I was like, I cannot remember what you've said. Like,
it was very slow. We were just waiting for it to finish.
It was.
Yeah.
Like,
but it starts off quite...
This.
Ooh, the Doctor and his friends. And it was like that. It was really...
slow.
Yeah.
That is the show. I'm like, can you remember what I said at the start, Mark? No, that's my point. I know you're talking, but that's kind of my point.
I had to look it up because in the Beatles' Yellow Submarine film, the Blue Meanie voice, I thought it was the same actor. It's the same. It's that. It was really effective, I thought.
It just got worse.
Yeah, no, he did get worse, but he was sort of struggling between being
when he was having the conversation with the Doctor. About
he's explaining the whole plot that he got taken over on the astral plane.
I have no idea what was said. I didn't even look.
That isn't taken over Pad. That's normal Pad saying, "Help me! This has happened to me."
That's such a crucial thing. And I said to you, like, I can't. I'm going to shut my eyes and try and listen to what the fuck he's saying because I had no clue. I was like, "Go on, what is this conversation?" And the Doctor's he's like, "Yes, so what? Who?" The Doctor's going at a decent pace. And I'm just waiting. And it's not a tender hook. It's not like, what's he going to say? It was just so slow. Ugh.
Okay, well, that's quite a bit of Pad there. Just going back to my notes. So my notes, literally, episode 2 is less. I'm just going to go through, just see if anything... just to see if anything reminds us, you know. So I've said, Pad's voice, and he already knows the Doctor from before. We've said that. Silverball Yeti... robot. So that's the end of episode 2. We find out the Yeti is a robot and the ball is going along. Literally, episode 3, all I put is sneaky Victoria.
Yeah,
because that's when
she's
Victoria goes off on her own and tries to, and that's when she.
So she does
meets
that.
Songson. So actually, I still like Victoria up to this point because I was prepared not to. I didn't realise she was so. I know, just her sneaking off isn't like a strong moment, but she's with Jamie throughout episode 1, a bit screamy, a bit scared. Okay, there's Yeti after you, but she goes into her own in the middle of this story, and she goes off because she's left behind. So she's trying to find out what happens, and then later on she gets possessed. So what do you think of Victoria?
So the fact that you wrote that one line from that, what all we got from that episode was Victoria spent most of it trying to get into a room.
Yeah. Didn't she? Oh, no, she got put in that prison. You know, when we thought she'd actually been poisoned.
Well, I didn't.
Well, I did. I was like, what's happened to Victoria? And you were like, she's
going to get out now. She's pretending.
So stuff like that I've missed whenever I've gone before on this stuff. That wouldn't have come in if you'd asked me to say the things that Victoria did or what she's capable of.
Yeah.
I would have said she wasn't even capable of doing that.
Yeah.
So I'm really impressed with Victoria in this.
But that is literally a whole episode of she finds out about a room. She ends up in prison, and is that where the Doctor and Jamie are going back to the TARDIS?
Yes, so it's padding, isn't it? They go off to get whatever equipment from the TARDIS.
Yeah.
There's a Yeti blocking it, I think, or something like that, and they have to go round.
Yeah, but it's not active, and that's when they
and it's not active. So
put a rock in instead.
Episode 3 really is padding, and that's when I think we both were looking at our phones more than the actual TV for the majority of it, and having
so
food.
Bad.
Yeah. So episode 4, then I've got Victoria. I think it says possessed. It looks like pissed. Or it could be prison. My writing isn't great. And then it says...
Where is it?
Where? Oh, fake V. I've got... What? Victoria?
Oh, my gosh, Mark. Victoria Pasadena.
Pissed. She's pissed. Doctor and Jamie on the hill. So actually, that's even episode 5 it goes into, I think, even more Doctor and Jamie on the hill.
Piscal.
Maybe prison, Piscal, pissed, whatever.
Or...
Poisoned. Oh, maybe I put poisoned. Fake Victoria. That's what I mean. Victoria poisoned. She's not. She's being fake Victoria again. She's pretending. Right. That's what I mean. And then even episode 5, because there's a lot of back and forth with the monks.
Yeah.
And Tomley, and even Tomley doesn't come out well in this. I thought we were ready for him to be our sympathetic side character of the week. Same. But
not really. They're like, you need to go. And they're like, why? And he's like, you just need to go. And they're like angry about it. And then they're like, and then there's all the, oh, you've come back. Oh, where's you? Oh, okay, no, we need to fight. Oh, no, wait, we're not. It was just...
And then I've got Victoria's possessed in episode 5. Actually, Jamie then really goes to the sideline after episode 1. He has his, he looks after Victoria, and he's sort of the lead there. And then he just doesn't really. He's the Doctor's sidekick.
Yeah, he doesn't do a lot.
And then he's just standing around. It's not Jamie. Well, he did a lot for the last few, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, actually, no, he didn't in Tomb of the Cybermen, did he? He was a bit sidelined there as well.
Yeah. He's not doing a lot.
But Victoria had, Victoria being possessed and stuff. She did that very well. That was very good. I put 4 Yetis in the monastery. I think we saw some come through the door. That guy's crushed by the statue.
That's in 5.
We're like, who even is this guy?
Yeah, that was in 5.
Yeah, this is 5 now, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Possessed Victoria's trance. Miming to P, I put, where she's miming to Pad's voice, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And I put that's when we find out it's a great intelligence. And then the Doctor hypnotises Victoria out of it. So, I mean...
And then teaches her a trance to say.
Yeah. And then all I've got in episode 6 is Chrysong dead. I haven't really got... that's all I've written down because it... I didn't
even understand Travers and another monk.
And Travers?
We hadn't seen before 5 that we were aware of.
No, so that extra monk, I can't remember his name, extra monk we'll call him, he turned up in episode 5... Well, because Chris Song, the sort of moustachy one, dodgy moustachy one, he's sort of like the villainy one. He does help out. You're not sure about him. He just gets killed, and then you don't have another monk to go off with Travers, so you have to get new monk in.
Yeah.
to help.
So, but I didn't even understand why he left. He left, and then he comes back and he's like, the doctor will be... And you doesn't even understand what the doctor's
it's that cave,
doing.
which is however far away. Halfway through, Travers goes and sees the balls in the cave and gets a scare. And then he comes back and he's lying down, sort of traumatised by having this, like, I don't know, mind touch him or whatever.
So that's 4.
In 4. And then we saw him lying down and they're talking to him for a long time. And then the next time we see Travers, unless I looked away or possibly that might have happened. The next time we see Travers, he's out exploring with this monk, trying to do...
What? I don't know.
Something else. Oh. Do you know, I don't know. I don't think we can really go through much of this story otherwise. It's just...
It's too bad.
The doctor, he doesn't seem to be as... I don't know, I thought he might know a bit more. He doesn't know about the Yeti being robots. It takes him quite a while. He doesn't sort of catch on to Pad and all of that going on. I can't even tell you what the doctor does, apart from go and get this thing from the TARDIS and bring it back and do some sort of detecting.
Yeah.
What does he do? What happens in the middle of this story?
I genuinely think the whole thing is just such a muddle of, like, potluck. It is potluck that the doctor knew if he returned to this place to take that mug or whatever.
Mug. Bell. Mug. Sorry, I've borrowed your mug. I'm just bringing it back.
I washed it. I thought that was going to have way more significance than this, to be honest.
Sorry.
Considering, like, it's this big thing and it's, like, really important to them.
It's a really important mug.
But literally, they get really excited that it's been returned. I thought this was going to have some sort of symbolism or, like... The only other time you see it is when she comes out in a trance walking around with it.
Well, it goes... Pad takes it, doesn't it? Oh, just talking about Pad. Sorry, I've said Pad far too many times in this episode. His face and his makeup is very good, you have to say.
Yeah.
Because you see the hand as well with the sort of the clawy handy bit.
Yeah.
And you see that first. And then I think that's quite horrific. Towards the end when he's sort of shouting and moaning and see his face. I think that would be... If we saw that...
There's one here too! Destroy it! No!
But for kids at the time, I think that's quite a scary moment. It's scarier than the Yeti.
Things that could have, like, been better.
The whole thing.
Yeah, but...
I can't believe I agree with you on this. I can't even bring out much positivity for the first time ever.
It's really hard.
I really can't. I'm so surprised.
Do
you think if this was animated, it would be easier to watch?
No. And I'll tell you why. Because it's nothing to do with this. Okay, like, what I was going to say, things that could help. Like, from watching with telesnaps, it's really hard when you've got an explosion scene that's like over a minute and just of nothing. There was that one thing where they just kept going back and forth between the doctor's face, like, woo, and Pad's face, like, you know, and that went on for literally just back and forth, back and forth. Now, I'm sure that it was more interesting, but we also have no music or anything with this. So literally, this is what we've got. And there's things like that. I was just like, oh, we're back again. Oh, right. Like, it just makes it really hard. But animated, I don't think will improve the fact that this story is just so vague and the characters are just so blah. I mean, okay, the animated one that we watched last, the Macra.
Yeah.
When you look at the footage of the Macra, they're not as good. But the Macra had a story and it took you somewhere. I don't feel like this had anything. It had 2 writers, you said.
Yeah.
2 of them couldn't make it work. Maybe that was a problem.
Okay, what if it was 4 episodes?
No, because for me, maybe. But for me, where this fails is it didn't sell the ultimate point, which is if you're going to have a baddie, I want to know why they're a baddie.
Well, because he's on his throne at the back. He doesn't come out. He doesn't try and take... He's very sort of hidden away the whole time. And you have that He sits in the
So
chair
I
the
said
whole
to you,
time.
I said to you, like, I want to know, Zanor, there's two things. Like, either when you discover a new piece of information, I want to know soon the next step in that, or particularly in something like Doctor Who. We're not talking some Scandi crime drama where, you know, nothing comes out for a few weeks, but you get loads of things in between. This literally was just nothing for ages. Or I want, which is what we had with Jan Lee, where the audience learns something and we're waiting to see them catch up. Like about the robots, and I want to know soonish what their purpose is as robots, why we're having robots, which we don't find out until episode 6. And we get them in episode 2.
Well, yeah, the audience doesn't know anything as we go along, but the Doctor doesn't either.
No one
until we
does.
So nobody does. And the monks don't know
Literally,
anything.
they built a set to destroy. Like, if you like that back set,
The last one, the
very last
intelligence's control,
Yeah, they literally, it's the first time you see it, the first time, like, it's not until episode 6 where it goes, it's in here, the control room must be, that is the first instance of there even being something like that there and present. It's just a load of crap. It's just a really crap episode.
It's a shame, actually. Yeah.
How does this rate?
All right, actually,
What?
I think. I know.
Oh,
I think people would really want this back. I mean, someone might have this in their basement.
keep it.
Yeah, I know.
If you find enjoyment from watching
know.
this, that I just
Yeah.
didn't. I really struggled, and I was really excited because I was thinking like, but even the Yeti, even the Doctor says like it's almost a waste, isn't it? Like got these robot things, and then Travis is like, well, I couldn't take them back. Like they're literally pointless.
You see a real Yeti at the end, though. That's a nice little
That's
bit
one
at the end.
moment, yeah.
Yeah, one nice little moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't like.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, at least again, Cybermen, little like, you know, cute things. That
Cybermat, yeah.
Cyberman, they did something and they like provided like you weren't even once you knew that they were controlled and actually they weren't even scary. They were just sort of like robot-y things. I found anyway. I wasn't to begin with. You're like, what are these? Once you find out they're just robots and they're being controlled by something in episode 2, like they're not as intimidating anymore.
No. They could have done the robot thing a bit further along, maybe.
Or like I wanted to know, because I think it's because there were so many little storylines going on that it was really hard to just follow. Because you had Victoria's whole storyline of her like basically trying to get in that room. She's like, she gets into the place, then she finds out that's her thing. She gets in the room, she gets brainwashed, they get her out. That's her sort of trajectory here. You've got Travers having a trajectory of like he wants to get the Yeti and then he finds out this, no, they're not. He's got a whole storyline that sort of fits into this. You've got the Doctors, which is, you know, him trying to figure it out. But it just all gets lost. And then you've got who you think is the evil monk, but actually I think he's just trying to, like, defend the others and, like, defend the place. And, you know, he's, like, string him outside and, like, we'll get a Yeti to eat him or, you know, and then he's like, oh, no, actually, Emily said, no, don't go out. Oh, he's gone out, fine. Like, it's just also, there's so many different storylines for these characters. Oh, no, I could just moan. I could just moan.
Okay. Well, let's just put it down as a bad episode this week. Bad story.
It's really hard.
I was just looking at my blood sugar. I had a hypo in episode 5.
Did you?
Yeah, look, it's gone into the red. Yeah,
my God.
my blood sugar went right down. There you go. That sums it up.
Oh my God.
I didn't take any. I didn't notice. Maybe I was going in a trance with pad. That's probably what it was. We've had pizza now. I'm going back up.
Oh my God. You ate some cheese before?
Yeah, well, cheese doesn't count as anything. No carbs. Well, I don't know what else to say, really.
No, and we need to stop because I'll just keep going.
Yeah, okay. Not
And
a
I'm
good
just
one.
too
I know,
angry.
and we're on the hills. Oh, do you know what? We'll end
Can
with
we
the
end on the-
positive.
yeah.
I'll tell you my Snowdonia story.
Oh,
I
okay.
completely forgot. So you've not been to Snowdonia, have
I've
you?
not, no.
No.
I've been, well, I say through it, but
okay,
like, yeah.
I've been up. I haven't. So I've not climbed it
Right.
myself. I've been up on the train.
Okay.
Because when I went up to, what was it, North Wales or wherever, I'd been out on the beach the day before and got really burnt legs. and they sort of smelled up a
Classic
bit.
Mark.
So I couldn't climb up the blimmin' Snowden, could I? With my burnt leg.
That's such a you thing.
So I thought I'd get the train, right? Right. Went to get my ticket, and they were like, "This is the last ticket. You're really lucky. This is the last ticket for the last thing." It takes like an hour to get up there, I think.
It's a long way.
So I was like, "Right, got my ticket." Queued up then for my time slot to get on the train to go up. Couldn't find my ticket. I don't know what happened. I must have lost it the moment I bought it. No ticket. And I was like, "Oh no!" And I said to the person, I was like, "Well, you remember me buying the ticket because I've only literally just bought it from you."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah, it's fine. You can go on. We'll just find you a space." So there wasn't any spaces, so I had to sit next to the driver in his little carriage at the front.
You'd have thought, though, that they had tickets for seats, so there must have been a seat.
I don't know.
So what's your seat?
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I had to sit next to the driver at the front.
Oh my God.
So I was going up with him, and then we stopped halfway through. I had to help him change the oil. He was like, "Press this button. This is like for the tourists, like audio thing." And then I had to help him get the tourists out. And then I ended up being the bus driver, the train driver's assistant up Snowdon and back.
Do you think?
I was like, there was this little like metal like sign thing. It was like, "Hold this up, like, put this in the front."
Do you think maybe he thought you were in training?
I had oil on my hands at the end. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I just got told, right, sit here, and it was really good. I love going up Snowdon. I've been twice.
Yeah.
And next time I go, I've got to find the right location when they film this. I'll have to get my fur coat out and have a photo.
There, go.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my Snowdon story. Yeah, been there. I've been where the Yeti have been.
Yeah,
where
I
we are
drove,
right now.
like, through Snowdon, as it were, because it's really windy. It's like,
Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's gorgeous, yeah. But I've not done
The
that.
other thing as well, after episode 4, I decided to show you. There's a sort of sequel-y thing that was made in the 90s. Not a fan film. It was like sort of semi-professionally done, I suppose. It's
like
it was like a straight-to-video.
It's a C movie.
thing.
It's not even a B movie.
You didn't like it. So I showed you the first few minutes of Downtime, which picks up. So it's Victoria returning like 10 years later to the monastery. And I swear it's the same actor that played Toucan Monk. He's got his toucan thing. It's in bright yellow.
Yeah. He's older. And
you've
I
got
mean, Victoria's more than 10 years.
You've got Victoria sort of aged down. So I just showed you that little bit just to to see how it matched up. And it matches up quite well apart from Victoria's face.
And her acting.
So yeah, what did you... And we watched a few moments of the going into it and you were like,
so
what is
bad,
happening?
wasn't she? Like, actually in this, she's pretty good.
I think, I'm surprised how good she is in this, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, whereas like watching it was so hammy. It was like, Father? I was like, oh my
Perfect, that's it, yeah. Well, she's trying to be younger Victoria and act.
But
I don't
even
think she can
young
do both.
Victoria wasn't like that.
It's strange, isn't it? Yeah, something happened. I don't know what happened between...
Because actually, like, you know, when we saw her scared in the previous story, like, it's almost like she's trying to pretend she's a child, and she doesn't play it like a child.
No, maybe she's going too far trying to be young in this. Yeah, but, well, I recommend Downtime to anybody. I recommend Downtime more than the actual story.
Oh, yeah.
Story.
It was awful.
So you won't be getting this one on vinyl then?
No. I'm not getting any of them on vinyl.
Oh.
I'm
only joking. I'm joking.
If you dare get me one of these on vinyl for like a birthday, I will not be amused. Because then I'll have to keep it.
Yeah.
And it'll never be used.
Yeah. Well, I predict now this isn't going to win any Oscars.
It could win Worst Moment.
Oh, yes.
Just the whole
We've got to remember
story.
this, Worst Moment. Well, let's hope next week is a bit better.
Yeah.
So the next story is called The Ice Warriors.
Yeah. Which, I mean, you'd have thought after being in the cold, they'd want to get away from the cold. But apparently...
Jamie's knees have gone blue, apparently.
Yeah,
that's what he says.
said gone purple and
He doesn't
blue.
wear any trousers.
Yeah.
He needs to wear trousers.
Because he's Scottish, Mark, and they have to keep reminding us that he's
but when
Scottish.
it's cold...
Well, they have to keep reminding us that he's Scottish.
Well, yeah, well, he didn't, with his anorak, he didn't look Scottish, did he, at all?
No.
He didn't look historical or Scottish.
I said
at
to you,
all.
there was one
Apart
scene,
from
you've
if you
got
saw his legs.
Travers, the Doctor, Jamie, and what's his name?
Tomney.
Tomney. And Tomney looked like he was wearing a tracksuit. But open, just like a jacket.
Just a dodgy telesnap there, yeah. Okay, well, we'll see what happens next week then with the Ice Warriors.
Yeah.
Another 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Animated and missing. Animated and missing? No, that doesn't make sense.
No.
Animating and existing.
There we go.
Let's hope things get better.
Yeah. Do you know what? I mean, for the reasons that people will find out next week, I genuinely hope the next one is better.
Right, okay, well, we'll leave that tantalising fact. Oh, dear, right. Too much pizza.
Yeah.
Too much pizza. Anyway, right.
It wasn't, Mark. It was. Let's not blame the pizza. The pizza was great. I'm not blaming the pizza for that disaster.
Well, yeah, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram. I'll just go straight to the end. At To Watch Who. You can listen to us wherever you find podcasts and on YouTube, if that is your choice. And it's defeated me, this one. It really has.
Yeah. The fact that you were really trying to defend it.
I remember I enjoyed the book so much at school. Right, yeah, anyway, we'll see you next week. Okay, bye.
Bye.
To Watch Who.